Blue River Technologies would like to introduce you to our Econo Dry Polymer Mixing System, an economical but highly efficient dry polymer makedown system. The basic system is a 200-gallon batch process that uses standard ICB tanks as both the mix tank and the holding or day tank to provide a completely automatic system. The basic components of the Econo Dry mixing system include the PLC-based control unit. This unit includes a liquid crystal operator interface, a 3-foot stainless steel hopper feeder, a Schedule 80 PVC water valve assembly, the Blue River Technologies 50-gallon per minute disperser eductor, a 1/2 horsepower, 250 RPM dual prop agitator, level probe assemblies in both tanks, and a 2-inch Schedule 80 PVC drain valve assembly. The stainless steel hopper feeder can feed dry polymer at up to 5 pounds per minute, and the Blue River Technologies disperser eductor will disperse and hydrate the polymer with a minimum of fish eyes. This unit requires a water pressure of 50 psi, and it can operate at from 20 to 50 gallons per minute. After the mix cycle is complete, the drain valve will open and gravity drain the mixed polymer solution down and into the holding or day tank. When the system is in manual mode, feeder time, mix time, and transfer delay times can be set. These times are easily set or changed just by placing the system into manual. Powering down the unit will not change the current times. Pushing F1 will bring up the feeder setting screen. You can ramp the time up or down and set it or change it. Then store the time in the system. F2 allows you to set the mixing time. This is the time that the mixer will run after the tank level reaches the high level probe during the fill cycle. F3 brings up the transfer delay time. This is a time delay that starts when the level of the mix tank drops off the low level probe during the drain or transfer cycle. This allows all the fluid to drain out of the tank before starting a new batch. Switching the system from manual to auto starts the automatic fill cycle. The tank begins to fill with water. After a 5-second delay, the feeder turns on and starts to feed polymer. Water flowing through the eductor disperser sucks the polymer up and into the water stream, efficiently hydrating the polymer as it is blasted into the tank. The air column that is formed in the polymer hose also tends to separate the particles of polymer with an air cushion. They enter the water stream as individual particles and are wetted out individually instead of clumping up into fish eyes that plague so many other systems. The system requires a minimum water pressure of 50 psi. Some installations will require a booster pump to ensure proper water pressure. The feeder will time out before the tank reaches the high level probe. The feeder will shut down, but the tank will continue to fill. When the water level reaches the high level probe, the water will shut off and the mixing time will begin. The agitator will run for the number of minutes set at the operator interface. After the mix time expires, the agitator will shut down. This prevents over-mixing and shearing the polymer batch. The PLC looks at the holding tank probes, and if the holding tank level is not below the low-level probe, the unit will go into a standby mode and wait until the holding tank has room to accept the new batch. Once the level probe in the holding tank is exposed, the system will go into the transfer mode. The drain valve will open and the entire batch will drain into the lower tank. It can now be pumped to the process. After the batch has drained completely into the lower tank, the drain valve will close, the water valve will open, and a new batch will be made down in the top tank. The feeder has two proximity switches located in the cabinet. One of these switches is looking for a plug disperser condition, or no poly flow. The other switch is watching the hopper to make sure that it has polymer covering this switch. If either of these conditions occur, the unit will shut down and go into an alarm condition. A vibrator on the hopper ensures that the polymer does not bridge and stop flowing. Out of poly indicates that the dry polymer needs to be added to the hopper. Low water pressure indicates that the water pressure is below 50 psi. The disperser eductor may not operate properly. A high alarm indicates possible overflow tank conditions. All of these components of this system can be purchased individually, allowing the buyer to build their own system with existing tanks and agitators. Blue River Technologies also manufactures similar systems in a 500-gallon and 1,000-gallon size. If you're looking for an economical but highly efficient dry polymer makedown system, call us. We'll be happy to help.